Well, you don't want the set to be the primary actor, but you want it to be beautiful and add to the whole experience. And it's the little details that I think Derek puts into his sets that they don't distract you, but they draw you in.
I think his thoughtfulness behind everything he does, whether it be fine art or set design, is evident in everything he does. Alice, her late husband Mitch, and I were all fortunate enough to grow up in areas where there was big-time professional theater. Alice and Mitch in the Chicago area, and I in the Northeast. We ended up in the Tri-City area where we discovered Barter Theater, and where Alice and I met through Barter's Porterfield Society. Derek is a native of Kingsport, Tennessee, where he attended Dobbins Bennett High School. He is highly, highly trained in the arts, graduating magna cum laude from Savannah College of Art and Design with a bachelor's degree in painting. Fortunately for us, he did an internship at Barter Theater. Upon graduation, he returned to Barter and became the scenic artist from 2003 to 2011. In 2012, he was appointed Barter's resident scenic designer, and he continues to hold that position today.
In addition to his contributions to Barter, he's also a distinguished fine artist. Derek is dedicated and very passionate about what he does, and he is well respected. One of the things that I've always been fascinated with about his work is his set design process. Prior to actually building the sets, he creates very detailed, scaled models, which are amazing in their own right. Derek possesses a way to visually communicate by way of highly creative designs. He's also a genius with mechanical engineering, which is evidenced by the magic he creates in sets that move and are transformed as the plays progress from scene to scene. He has designed scenery for 124 Barter productions and 31 Barter player productions. Notable designs include Murder on the Orient Express, Clue, A Christmas Carol, The Three Musketeers, A Streetcar Named Desire, The Shawshank Redemption, and very recently, The Play That Goes Wrong.
Katie Brown, the producing artistic director of Barter Theater, says this of Derek, and I quote, "When I think of the very definition of the word artist, I think of Derek. He can envision and create entire worlds that never cease to surprise and delight the audience, as well as those of us who have had the privilege of working with him. He has the ability to imagine beyond what one would think possible and to enliven everything he touches. Barter Theater is wildly lucky to have his artistry on our stages and his kindness in our consciousness. We continue to marvel at the beauty and creativity of Derek's dazzling set designs. They certainly enhance the stories. They frame the actors in the most flattering ways, and they bring Barter plays to life. It is for this reason that Alice and I nominated Derek for his outstanding contributions to the arts in this region. I had a terrific experience working directly with Derek. I had convinced Rick Rose, who was the artistic director prior to Katie Brown, to produce a show I saw on Broadway. And it took me 5 years to convince Rick to do it. And then I asked him if he ever had guest set designers. And he thought I was just having a conversation, and he said, "Oh yes, we have them all the time." And I said, "Well, I'm asking for myself, would you allow me to do the set design? And he looked at me and he said, yeah, we can do that. So I worked with Derek on the set design for Over the River and Through the Woods. And I have to say, Derek sort of let me just run with it. He didn't hold me back. He had a few suggestions because I had to know where the actors were going to be entering the stage and where certain things had to be placed. But he just allowed me to do it, and it was wonderful working with him.
You know, Derek is a very quiet person.
Introspective.
Yeah, and you know, he really deserves that recognition. I mean, seriously, just in the past few years, some of these set designs, Shawshank Redemption was just amazing.
Got goosebumps thinking about it.
Murder on the Orient Express, I mean, so detailed and so beautiful. And some of the sets, he's actually painted the whole backdrop to make it look like in Kentucky Spring, make it look like you're in the Appalachian Mountains and, you know, you're there. I mean, you're outdoors. And so I think it's, you know, that cumulative effect of just gets better and better and more and more and more.
First of all, I'd like to thank the AAME for honoring me with this award, and congratulations to my fellow recipients tonight. What an honor it is to be included amongst you and all past recipients. I also have to thank Mary Jane Miller and Alice Link for nominating me for this award and for the incredible introduction. I don't know who that baby-faced guy was that you saw on the screen, but don't recognize him at all. But truly, Mary Jane and Alice, my greatest joy in receiving this award has been getting to know the two of you. My life began as an artist pretty much how everyone does, drawing and doodling as a child. My artistic drive, however, was fueled by sibling rivalry. Having a brother 6 years older than me meant that he was pretty much miles better than me at pretty much everything in life. And that infuriated me to no end. But I thought maybe, just maybe, if I tried, I could maybe draw just a little bit better than him. And that's precisely what young me set out to do. So my first thanks is to my older brother Mark for creating my first artistic drive, if for no other reason than to finally be better than him at something. It was in high school, though, that I really began to appreciate what creating art meant to me. I was lucky enough to have an incredible art teacher named Martha Bates at Dollars Bennett High School in Kingsport, Tennessee, who really sparked and encouraged my creativity and artistic expression. I know that I would not have become an artist in my adult life without her influence. I also had many great professors during my time at the Savannah College of Art and Design. One in particular, Morgan Santander, is solely responsible for my career in theater. Morgan's MFA was in painting, but his undergraduate education had been in theatrical set design, and he knew what a great creative avenue that could be. Between my junior and senior year, I needed to complete an internship to finish my degree, and Morgan asked if I knew of any theaters where I could, complete that summer internship. Until that moment, theater had never occurred to me as a potential career path. Getting a degree in art, I had no idea what I was going to do after I graduated. And without Morgan, it most likely I never would have worked in theater without Morgan. At his request, when he suggested theater as an internship, my mind immediately thought of barter. So I emailed Rick Rose directly, asking for an internship. And when he didn't respond, I emailed him again. And probably emailed a couple more times before I finally got a response. In hindsight, I realized that he was probably a very busy man who didn't have time to answer emails from some college kid. But I'm so glad he took the time to answer those emails. I've now been at Barter for close to 22 years. And during that time, I've worked on hundreds of shows, first as a scenic painter, and the past 13 years as a scenic designer. During that time, I've had the great privilege of working with some truly incredible artists. It would take all night to name them all, but my designs would be nothing without them. And I hope they all know how grateful I am for their artistry and collaboration. We have such a talented group of artists at Barter across all aspects of the organization, and I'm in awe of all of them. Without a doubt, I would not be where I am today without a few key people at Barter. From finally answering my internship emails, to constantly pushing me to create more and more imaginative art, Rick Rose never once let me phone it in. He challenged me to create art beyond what I thought I was capable of. Unfortunately, Rick and Amanda couldn't be here tonight, but I thank them both deeply for their collaboration and friendship over the years. There aren't words to describe what this next person has meant to my artistic career at Barter. Katie Brown is one of the most talented and kindest people I know, which is truly a rare combination. She treats everyone with such grace and kindness, and she is truly inspiring to be around. I've designed more shows with Katie at Barter than anyone else. In fact, my very first city design at Barter was with Katie, back when I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. We both remember that show, the little boat they steered around the stage. But working with her on those first few shows sparked a passion for scenic design I didn't know I had. So I'm incredibly proud of the art we've created together over the years, and I can't wait to see what we create in the future. To my fiancée, Micah, you're such a light in the world. Every room is brighter for having you in it. I love you with my whole heart, and I can't wait to marry you. And lastly, to my parents. You have always been there for me, and we're the perfect balance of parent and friend. You never wavered or questioned my artistic ambitions, even when I signed a student loan for more money than I could comprehend to go to art school. I love you both, and I'm so incredibly proud to be your younger, more artistically inclined son.